Hi everyone, my name is Sushain and welcome to yet another episode of the Flag Goes Up podcast. And in this episode, we will be previewing what should be a box office hot ticket fixture between Liverpool and Manchester United. Two of the most oldest enemies lock horns and stare together in the red hot white light of their contrasting forms on Sunday. And of course, I'm joined here by Shivang, who is a Manchester United fan, and obviously Gurjot as well. So let's get right into it. Let's just talk about this one of the oldest rivalries. This obviously, arguably the greatest, arguably one of the greatest matches in all of club football. Goes neck to neck with the El Clasico. So let's get right into it. Let's just start with the tactics and let's just start with Manchester United. I mean, great summer for them, great signings. Cristiano Ronaldo returning, getting Jadon Sancho, Rafael Varane, strengthening the areas where they wanted to strengthen going into this new season. So let's just get into it. Let's get Shivang's thoughts on how do we think what would be Manchester United's tactical blueprint going into Sunday's fixture.
Yeah, right. So Shane, this box office fixture coming, in these 3 to 4 days. So tactics, whatever. I'm just confused about the fact that what tactics do we play? Like, what tactics does Ole Gunnar Solskjaer play? There's no
That's what
teamwork.
I was about to say. Manchester
There's
United and tactics, they don't
they
go
don't
like
go right. Yeah, right. There's no team cohesion. There is no game plan. Just relying on these individual brilliances of like some give away the ball to Bruno, he'll make something happen, or get this slick pass through to Ronaldo and then he'll shoot. So these things, I don't know what tactics they're gonna play. These last few games we have seen, they have been in shambles. Really, the club is in shambles. I believe there is no fixed plan, and I can see the smirk on both of your faces. So it's totally true that we are struggling right now in the league as well as other competitions. They're just relying on one or two individual players who can get something out of the blue, and then they'll score and maybe get a result on their day. So believing that they are playing Liverpool now, who are obviously so much good on the pressure is there in the whole game, their intensity all over the game. So I would believe that they'll most probably rely on counter-attacking football only. They would sit back and then wait for their time, wait for their turn to hit on the counter, for which they have a good amount of players in the squad as well. We have Rashford, Sancho, Greenwood, maybe just throw
Sancho.
Ronaldo and Cavani in the mix and maybe get some result out of it. So these things, they have to be like this only. I mean, I can't say a perfect tactical game would be played on the night because it's Jurgen Klopp. He's on a different level. And then there is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. I don't know where he belongs right now. These results have totally, made me go through all these things, all these past years, like what is happening with the club and what is happening on the field with the club. I don't know, man. No identity, nothing. It has been almost.
But why is that? I mean, it's Ole has been in charge for I think a little more than 2 years
2 years.
now.
Yeah, right.
I think it will be his third year in February, in Jan or February. I think he'll complete 3 years as
In
United
December, yeah,
manager.
mostly, yeah.
Yeah. So why? I mean, even after 3 years, why do you say that the team does not have any identity? But isn't he playing the way United? Isn't he
The
playing the
United.
way that United is supposed to play? I mean, I thought he understands the DNA of the football club and things like that. So why do you think there is no identity in the squad or in the team or in the first 11
No,
that he
look,
chooses
look, look,
to
look. I'll let you
go
know.
on the pitch?
I'll tell
Yeah.
you something. The United way, what is United way? I think even I or other fans also don't remember what is this United way now. We were like reigning champions the last time in 2013 when Sir Alex left, he retired. So after that, we have seen so much of ups and downs. Like obviously so many downs only, but ups were like 2 or 3 trophies, major trophies which we won during the Mourinho and Van Gaal era. But that's it. We haven't seen it fixed, consistent team or squad, performing out there and winning, having this mentality of winning. I don't understand what's the identity of the team. They play 2 to 3 matches on a very good note, and then the next game they slump down on a mediocre level, like a mid-table club. I know you can relate, Gujot, but it's fine. But anyways, so there has to be some cohesion in the team. Like there has to be some game plan how to execute it. Maybe the manager is like, okay, we got to play like this, we got to play like that. We have to press, we have to be active on the ball and make passes quickly, release the ball quickly. But I don't see the players, getting the exact this philosophy of the manager or the coaching staff. I think there seem to be some gap between the communication or something which is totally, messing up with the results, messing up with the fixtures all the way. And they have been saying like United has been very lucky. They have been reaching second, third in the previous years. They finished second last year, though they weren't deservedly shouldn't have been finishing on the second position, but still they went on to get the second position. But that's it. Again, same thing, that they are relying on players like Bruno Fernandes, Paul Pogba in the mix, Rashford. So these things, they don't sustain at a football club of this level, of Premier League level. They don't sustain. You go and see Liverpool, you go and see Man City, even Chelsea this year. They have these certain philosophies of the gameplay. They have these certain fixed game plans before the matches, and their teams, their squad, their management, it's totally on point with each other. They know they're on the same page. Here, I don't know exactly what's going on. It's just, it hurts me to say this, but it's just no identity, no gameplay, nothing. I don't see how we can, get a positive result on this Sunday. I'm really pessimistic about this one, really one.
Okay, so I think that wasn't what we kind of expected. I mean, from coming from a United fan, but I think, yeah, that's I think that's pretty much sums it up. I think it was what I could feel in this kind of a monologue or kind of a rant, you can say, was frustration. And I think a lot of United fans are frustrated with the kind of performances that their team has been producing, even with the kind of players that they have and the kind of players that they've signed this season, particularly in Jadon Sancho, Cristiano Ronaldo, and Rafael Varane. So I think that this was Manchester United. Now, as Shivang said, that he doesn't see any particular identity in the team, and he the kind of tactics that United have majority, played majority for majority this season is 4-2-3-1, and I think that it'll continue going into Sunday's fixture as well. What extra he said was that United might not play on the front foot and they might sit back and try to play on the counter. Talking about Liverpool now, Gurjot. I mean, obviously we know Klopp is famous for his heavy metal football. It's high energy, high intensity, high press, high press, again pressing as we call it in Germany. When if you lose the ball, you immediately press to win it back rather than getting into your positions and trying to defend. What about Liverpool? I think we will see Liverpool go with the 4-3-3. That front three of Mane, Salah, and Firmino are going to be there. The only tweaks that we might see is going to be in that midfield three, because the back four as well, we might just see the Van Dijk, Alexander Arnold, and Andy Robertson are sure to play. So are Mane, Firmino, and Salah. It's just the midfield three and who is going to partner Van Dijk in defense is gonna what's gonna matter. So what about Liverpool's tactics? Do you think Liverpool will try to tweak how they play usually, given the fact that they are playing up against Manchester United, or do you think they're going to be confident enough to play with their own style and make sure that they will get that win irrespective of how they play?
Yeah, they should be confident. The run they around. I saw them the other night against Atletico Madrid. They just slapped
Yeah,
Atletico Madrid. And in the Premier League and against Watford 5-0, they just run riot. So I think there is no point in
absolutely.
just, yeah, they will be, I think, the clear favorites. And as you said, Salah, Mane, and Firmino. For me, Salah has been outstanding. The 7 odd games in the league and in the Champions League as well. He has started the season off brilliantly. He's the top scorer, I think, right now in the Premier League as well.
Yeah, I think he has blanked in only one game, that was against Burnley, where he did not provide a goal or an
Uh,
assist. Otherwise, he has involved in a goal directly in all the games Liverpool have played this season, in which Salah
uh,
has played, obviously.
yeah, FPL favorite as well. So
Absolutely.
yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah. So, exactly. I think that there is no. I think they should be on their own game. They should just press United. I think, and yeah, they should play their own game. Salah, Mane, and Firmino. It's good to see Firmino also back in the starting 11. And yeah, I
Yeah,
think Liverpool will be the clear favorites to win this one.
absolutely. Now talking about, obviously talking about, as I said, that do we think that Liverpool need to tweak their tactics going into this fixture? And obviously, what we all can agree on is that they need to play their usual game that they've been playing so far this season, and because of the fact that they've been in such a great form. But talking about
Sachin,
United,
just can I interrupt you for a second, if you
yeah,
allow?
yeah,
Yeah. So we are talking about tweaking the formation for Liverpool. Do you know the last time they played at Old Trafford last season, they won 4-2. They scored 4, they conceded only 2, they won 4-2. They dominated the whole game. And it was this same almost a very same squad, and they didn't have Van Dijk in that game. He was injured, he was out. So I don't see the
Okay.
role of tweaking the formation or anything. They're just going to
No,
go
but
there
given
and
the fact
dominate.
that United have played 4-2-3-1, and
Hmm.
Ole has sometimes played with a back three as well.
Right.
Do you
Right.
think he will go with the back three this season? Because he last season, I think against Chelsea, he played with the back three of Lindelof, Bailey, and Maguire.
Maguire,
Obviously,
right.
given the fact that Varane is still injured, do you think Ole can go with the back three? Because that will give a little freedom to Cristiano Ronaldo up front as well, because as you know, that stat came up where where we saw that Ronaldo doesn't press as
Press
much as
much,
the other
yeah.
forwards do. Yeah.
Ronaldo
So do
never
you think?
presses.
Yeah,
Ronaldo never presses. He's not a quintessential striker as we call. He never
exactly.
presses. He just
He's not
waits
the
for the
perfect
opportunity.
number 9. Right, right. You're right,
Yeah.
Raj.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
So I
believe,
mean, so
yeah, I
yeah.
do
So what
believe that
about why not a back three from Ole?
I do believe he'll be switching to back three now, because his job is almost on the line. We say, we read in the reports in the press, in the English media, that his job is safe. The management, the owners, they believe in him and they believe in the project. But we all know he's just a match or two away from the sack now, because there is no improvement exactly. They're just moving diagonal, moving horizontally, right and left, and there is no upward direction, which is in which the club is going. I don't see him winning any trophy this season as well. You can call me whatever you want, like he's being so pessimistic about his glove or something like that. But I don't seriously don't see this type of squad, like the gameplay they have been showing in these recent matches. They don't deserve to win any trophy this season, so especially. And switching to back three will obviously give give them flexibility in the middle as well. So two midfielders, Pogba, Fred and McTominay, who have been
McFred,
consistent in the
chicken.
McFred, yeah. So they have been in the middle of the park, and they have given the consistency, which is pretty important, I believe. And with that as well, we can see that Ronaldo, as you just mentioned, will have some, degree of independence in the forward areas. So he can at least have the ball, receive the ball at his feet, and Bruno just behind him or just playing off him. So these things will matter. Maybe they will give him good results as well. Not in the big games, I would say, but in other matches like in the Europe as well, if he has to play. So yeah, switching to back three would be a safe bet for him.
No, but how will he accommodate players if he switches in a back three? Pogba,
Right.
I mean, obviously, if you play in a back three, you have to play with a pivot of two players who can play in that
Fred and
midfield pivot. And
McTominay
if
for
you're saying
sure,
that McTominay and Fred,
and
or
Bruno in front of
obviously
him.
Pogba, then Pogba will, you think Pogba will be on the bench? Because even in front three, it'll be only Ronaldo, Fernandes, and either Rashford or Mason
Or
Greenwood
yeah,
or
I
Jadon
think,
Sancho.
yeah, even I think Sancho won't be getting the lineup.
Two of the sure starters who play in that in a 4-2-3-1 will have to sit out if Ole switches to a back three.
Yeah, Pogba, I think, would have to be shifted to bench. And if he still feels like, if there is no Rafael Varane in the back three or back four, if we suggest in that way, I don't see them playing without this Fred and McTominay, because it gives a sense of relief to them, the defenders as well, to the team as well, that there are two sitting defensive midfielders playing in the squad. Even though they're, we know the results, which won't be too much positive on the positive side with those two playing in the middle, but still that's a safety for the back line, and without conceding, we can at least try to score. Anyways, so moving on, I think Jadon Sancho, Pogba would be sitting on the bench. Rashford, Ronaldo,
Okay.
Greenwood in the front, totally. Two of them will be
So
playing.
then for Bruno will be sitting on the bench as well. If you're saying
No,
that
I'm saying
Ron-
Rashford, Sancho, and Ronaldo, two of them will be playing for sure in the front. Bruno just behind them.
okay, fair enough. All right. So yeah, I think we cannot rule out the fact that Ole might go with the back three to contain Liverpool's front three. I mean, Salah has been in super form, as we have seen. Scoring. I think I think last night against Atletico was his ninth consecutive match in which he scored in
Scored,
all
yeah.
competitions, and I think he might make it a perfect 10. on in Sunday's fixtures. I mean, I'm sure all Liverpool fans would be wanting that, hoping for that. Now talking about Salah, let's talk about the key players in both the teams. Yeah, talking about Liverpool, obviously, Salah is going to be one. But who other than Salah do we think that can have a huge influence on the game?
I think
What about
Fabinho
yeah?
might be the one. Yeah. Fabinho, I think, might be the one also because he is a defensive midfielder and most of his work goes unnoticed, but he's the one breaking all the plays. I like the way he breaks plays. He is very aggressive in his interceptions. And I think,
Hmm.
yeah, as we know that Klopp's midfielders, they all are workaholics. There might not be
Yeah.
ballers as we call, but they are all workaholics. Henderson, Naby Keita, they signed, and yeah, and Fabinho, they're all workaholics. They like to work hard, and yeah,
No,
Thiago is the
it's
one
not just those
exception.
midfielders. Even their front three work hard. I think this was one of the point that Jamie Carragher and Gary Neville made on Monday Night Football on Sky Sports as well. That even if
Yeah,
Liverpool's players are these star players, they score goals, they work hard, to win the ball back and do their defensive bit. We don't see that in Manchester United. We don't see
yeah,
that
yeah,
with
And
Jadon
they were
Sancho or
certainly,
Cristiano Ronaldo.
yeah, exactly. They were pointing to certain number 7 in the red of United. I know.
yeah, exactly said. I may not see Salah working that hard defensively, but I see Mane doing that on the left side. He does work hard, and Roberto Firmino, when he plays, he also helps his midfielders because he's not a striker. He just plays as a number 10 so that Mane and Salah could come in. So
Yeah.
this was I think for me I think Fabinho might be, but me personally Fabinho I think would
Yeah,
be
it's
an
it's
integral
it's
part of it.
like it's like how the Chelsea women play as well, because that front three of Pernilla Harder, Sam Kerr, and Fran Kirby, as you said, that Firmino is not a proper number 9. He shifts back to allow Mane and Salah go ahead. That's how that's what Pernilla Harder does as well. Allows Sam Kerr and Fran Kirby to go. But yeah, coming back to the United game, as you said, that Fabinho and Firmino can be the influential players, other than, of course, Mohamed Salah and Sadio Mane in that fixtures. What about United's players? Who do we think in that United lineup can be that the difference maker? Obviously, Bruno can be there. He has this knack of contributing with a goal or assist, even when he's not having one of his greatest games. But who other than Bruno Fernandes can be that player for Manchester United?
Yeah, absolutely right, Sachin. Bruno Fernandes has been pivotal throughout this, his United career. Since he joined, he has been involved in many goals and assists, which has been the highest. Even though Bruno hasn't having these, his purple patches there. So I think Marcus Rashford should be the other player. Like, he has a good record against Liverpool at Old Trafford. He has scored in many of the
But he's
games.
only come back from an injury. Do you
And
think he'll
I
But he
even
believe,
scored
start
as
the
well.
and
match?
I believe he will play his part. Yeah, he scored in his first appearance, just in the last
Yeah.
Leicester game, which I
Against
don't want
Leicester?
to
Yes.
remember exactly. So yeah, if he starts in the Sunday's game against Liverpool, so he'll surely be a very
He
important,
will,
influential
he
factor.
will, I think, will start. I don't think Jadon Sancho is going to start that match against Liverpool. Yeah,
Right.
they give stick to Pepe for not doing stuff. There's Manchester United fans, and now look at Jadon Sancho. He has, I think, played 10 odd games and not scored or assisted. So yeah, the media flop they called.
Yeah, anyways, we can talk about that later. So, but still, yeah, Bruno Fernandes and Marcus Rashford. I mean, Rashford still fresh from his injury. He has been training very well, and I think he's raring to go now. And I believe he can be a very important, player in the game. And talking about as the squad as a whole, I think United needs a result. Even though I personally don't believe they will get a good result, but yeah, they need to at least show with their performance that they are playing there on the field for their team, for the club, for the badge, and especially for the manager. So these things do important. They come out in the big games like these, the traditional rivalries, all these stuff going on. So I believe that yeah, influential members will step up and at least make their mark in the game.
United do have a tough set of fixtures coming there. I think they play City next as well. So
Spurs,
yeah,
City, Atlanta, yeah,
Arsenal, yeah, they
Arsenal
all
also,
have
right?
play in next 6 to 7 weeks. It's a tough set of fixtures for them. I think
Exactly.
if Ole could come out of that, it will be a miracle.
Yeah, that's the thing about Ole, that he's dangerous when he's about to
Yeah,
get sacked. So let's
exactly.
let's
Yeah,
see what
that.
happens now. Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
all right. So I think what about now we've spoken about the key players in both the teams, and there are obviously a lot of players. Now, what about the current? Talking about the current form now. Obviously, as I said in the beginning of the episode, that both of these clubs have had contrasting fortunes. Liverpool, on a roll, haven't lost this season. I
Yeah,
think they're unbeaten,
just
right?
drew one. Yeah, drew
Yeah,
one.
I think in the league they've played five, drew three, or they drew three against Chelsea, City, and Brentford. And the five games that they've won without conceding a single
Conceding,
goal.
yeah.
Scoring five, scoring three. Salah has been in great form. And yeah, and talking about Manchester United, I think their performance in the Premier League, I think four wins, two draws,
And
two
two
defeats, right?
losses, yeah.
Yeah, so obviously, Liverpool have the advantage if when it comes to form, but as we said, form goes out of the window when you have to play these big fixtures.
Right.
Even Arsenal against Tottenham in the North London derby, Arsenal weren't having such a great start to the season. Tottenham had a great start to the season, but we all saw how that turned out to be, and it can happen on Sunday as well. So yeah, I think if we talk about form, I think Liverpool have been, but do we say that the reason Liverpool are second in the table, yeah, 18 points from their first 8 games, but they haven't won a single game against teams in the top 10. Against Chelsea, Brentford, and City, they've drawn, and the 5 games that they've won are all against the teams in the bottom half of the table. How do we see this changing against United? Do we see them dropping points against United?
Yeah, it can possibly happen. And as you said, form goes out of the window in these big games. And
Yeah.
Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has done it multiple times against City as well. He just pulled something out of the bag at these
Yeah.
big games because I think it works perfectly for him because we all know that he likes to play on the counter with McTominay and Fred in the pivot
Mhm.
role. The problem starts for Manchester United when they have the ball because they all just look to Bruno Fernandes and to do a cute pass or get a ball across to Ronaldo to score goals. And yeah, I think Liverpool will dominate. So I think it will be a good match to watch. And yeah, we cannot rule out Manchester United completely. They will put up a fight. It's a traditional rivalry, and yeah, I think yeah, it will be a close match.
All right,
Absolutely. Right.
fine, fair enough. Now, talking about the lineups, I think we discussed this when we discussed the formations, but who do we see starting for Liverpool? Other than obviously, Van Dijk, Alexander-Arnold, Robertson, and that front three of Mane, Salah, Firmino are sure to start. But who do we see starting for Liverpool in that midfield? Do we see Henderson, Fabinho, or Naby Keita? Do we see, Thiago? Is Thiago fit, or
I
I
don't think
mean, we
Thiago is fit. I guess I don't think. I
or do
think
we see
yeah.
James Milner? Who do you think we're gonna see in that
I don't think
midfield
James
three?
Milner will play because he played the other night against Atletico Madrid. And yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I think it will be Naby Keita, Henderson, and Fabinho. I think this will be the third midfield three, and the front three, as we know, it will be changed. I think Matip will partner most probably Van Dijk in the defense, and yeah, I think rest will all remain the same. I guess.
Okay, and what about United? I mean, if Ole goes with a back three, who do we see? How do we see the starting lineup? Going into the fixture on
Fixture,
Sunday.
yeah, right. So I think there will be no surprises in the mid and midfield in the defense. Like, I do believe that Maguire, Bay, and Lindelof will be the three centre backs with Van Bissaka and Shaw on the wing backs. And McTominay, Fred in the pivot. Obviously, they need protection in the middle of the park, and Bruno playing just in front of them. And I still think Ronaldo will be partnered with Rashford. I mean, even if he's not 100%, but I believe he should be the one. Or we can still see Greenwood. I mean, he has also been having a good season, like
Greenwood
start of
also
the
has a good
season.
start to the
Yeah,
season.
start
Yeah.
of the season, and he's developing into a good player, as we
But
have
but
seen.
would you start? But would you start Ronaldo over Cavani or Rashford if you were Ole?
I
Ronaldo over
That's a
I
good
do see
Cavani
this
and
comparison
Greenwood.
coming up. Yeah, I know the work ethic and all these comparisons are just popping up now, but still, I believe Cristiano Ronaldo is the big match player, and he needs to start. You start with the best players on the field. So I believe Cristiano will be the one starting with Rashford or Greenwood. Yeah, for sure.
No, but would you start Ronaldo over
Absolutely,
Cavani? And
absolutely. I believe Cristiano should start. Yeah, over Cavani.
Gurjot, what about you? Do you think that even if he's one of the arguably the greatest player in the history of football, do you think, given the fact that he is a little older now, he can't do what things that he could do 10 years or 7 years ago, given the fact that there are players on the bench who can offer more than Ronaldo defensively, in terms of working harder, Cavani, Greenwood, or Rashford, would you start Ronaldo over Cavani or Greenwood if you were Ole?
As I think, as Shivang rightly said, you start with your best players. I know he is not what you said 10 years back, but if one chance falls to you on this game, you want Ronaldo at the end of it, because
Exactly.
no
Absolutely.
matter his age, he will score you. But if you give him two, he has the capacity to score two, or at least one. He'll put it in the back of the net. With Cavani, I think Cavani do help the player, do help defensively, but yeah, he hasn't played much football this season. I think one odd appearances he played. He hasn't. I think he has started just one game against Everton. Was the one that he started, and I don't think Cavani would be the one. I think it's still. I think it will be Cristiano.
But if you talk about the game against Leicester, and you said that you want your best players to start, and if you give Cristiano Ronaldo even that one chance, he will score. But don't you think, given the fact that if Ronaldo is playing and he'll be that center of attention, do you think Liverpool will try to man mark him, double man mark him, or triple mark him? And the fact that I didn't see Ronaldo having any chances against Leicester. I don't think this United teams creates enough for him.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Exactly.
you said it. You said it brilliantly. That I don't think United creates that much against. I think against I saw the match of. I think I didn't see the Leicester one. I saw the Everton one. Everton match.
Mm-hmm.
Manchester United were appalling in that match. Everton did ran the show, and Leicester one I didn't saw. But yeah, I don't think Manchester United, as heard Gary Neville also, that I don't think Manchester United is the right fit right now for, I think, Cristiano Ronaldo, because they like to play on the counter. They don't just start. They don't startle teams like what Man City does and what Liverpool does. They just suck the life out of the teams, these two clubs. And I don't think Manchester United does stuff like that. They like to play on the counter and just one odd chance here and there, and they score. So yeah, personally, I don't think that Cristiano Ronaldo was a good transfer for, because Cavani did do brilliantly. He scored goals at the back end of the season as well, and he is a quintessential striker. And Ronaldo is not a striker. He just plays. He gets to the end of things. So yeah,
So
Yes.
if United isn't creating enough chances for Cristiano Ronaldo to score, and given the fact that Ronaldo doesn't contribute defensively as much as Cavani or anyone else's do, given your sentiments aside, I think it would be logical to not start Ronaldo then. If you cannot create enough chances for your best player to bury, because obviously Ronaldo's greatest trait is finishing now. Yeah, you're dribbling. He was a great dribbler. He had that pace, but obviously with age, those things can degrade a little. But his finishing will stay with him. But obviously, for him to show his finishing, you need his teammates creating chances for him. So if the teammates are not creating as many chances as for Cristiano Ronaldo, as many chances as Cristiano Ronaldo likes, is it logical to maybe not start with him this season? Because
Well,
you cannot start with both Ronaldo and Cavani. That would be too stagnant. I mean,
exactly.
if you're
uh,
starting two 35-year-olds, then I don't see
You lost the game before
that
starting.
industry
Yeah.
industry forward. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm saying you lost the game just before starting the match only if you're starting both of them together. Even though this signing was just a romanticism of the club, the club, the aura related to that, we need to have him back and etc. I personally believe that Rashford, Sancho, and Greenwood have been the perfect front three given starting this season. If all the three have been in their best forms, so that front three would have been really lethal. And the just not the age on their side, but the skills they possess, all these things would have mattered, and they have impacted us in the Premier League table on a huge, on a massive level. And with Cristiano now in there in the mix, so yeah, he's finishing the goals, the chances he's getting, but still the creation is not there. Bruno Fernandes can't do everything on his own in a single
Exactly.
match. And, there is no consistency related to Paul Pogba. He's not even committing to the club right now. He's in his last year of contract. He's, on the flip side, he may be joining any other club in the top European leagues, or maybe he will be signing an extension. I don't know what's going to happen with there, but still the midfield creativity it lacks for Cristiano's liking, and I believe his
But Pogba has the most assists for
assists, yeah,
United
because
this season, and
he recorded 4 assists in only the first game of the season, and that was a very good game for the team because Greenwood was playing the number 9 role, and the fluidity in the attack, the fluidity in the transition from defense to attack was totally perfect. And I believe a team should have been built around that in that sphere only. That the squad should have been like that. Anyways, moving on, we think this Sunday's game would be a blockbuster to watch, and we should end the show with the predictions, I think, right? So it's prediction time.
absolutely prediction time. Yeah, Gurjot,
So yes,
I
Gurjot, go on.
think Liverpool win is what I think it should go down if we go based on the current form and that kind of tactics. What do you think is going to happen?
I think it will be a tight game. I would want
Is it
Manchester
at
United
Old
to
Trafford?
lose.
Is the match at Old
Yeah,
Trafford?
it's at Old Trafford.
Yeah.
Klopp has only won one match at Old
Once,
Trafford,
yeah,
right?
the last
That
one,
was
yeah.
last season.
And plus the fans will be back as well. So, and I
Hmm.
don't think Manchester United fans would like the opposition to dominate them.
No, absolutely not.
Especially if
Yeah,
it's Liverpool or Man City, yeah.
especially
Yeah,
yeah.
but the thing is that passion from the fans needs to
I'm saying,
translate it into the players' performance as well. If the
Exactly, yeah.
players are not playing
Responding to that, yeah.
the kind of the way the fans want them to, I don't
I don't
see.
think I don't think what the fans want the players will do, because yeah, I don't think they will go toe to toe with Liverpool. I don't think. Yeah,
Yeah.
I do think Manchester United squad is very good, but I don't think they will go toe to toe with Liverpool. So
So
yeah,
what is your prediction then?
I think it will be
Pool
a tough
victory.
match. Yeah, a pool win. I think a 2-1 win for the pool. I think.
All right, all right. What about Shivang now?
I would as much as I wanted to see a United win there on the ground, but I still think it would be a Liverpool win. Though fingers
Oh come
crossed
on.
for a miracle. Come on, fingers crossed for a miracle.
So, no,
Yeah,
but
well,
what about the scoreline? What
go for
about the
a
scoreline?
2-0 to Manchester United.
No, 2-0. Okay, clean sheet from United right now. Yeah. I
Uh,
don't need to keep dreaming. I think scoreline should be an exciting scoring draw if it's in that phase, or if United win, they will only win 1-0. They can't go over that. But still, they won't. So it's fine.
But Pool will be scoring, right?
1-0 for United if I wanted from my own, deep bottoms of my heart. A 1-0 United win would have been a
No, but
classic win.
logically, what do
Logically,
you
they
think?
will
Not
score.
what
Yeah,
you want.
exactly. They will score. I don't know how many, but they will score. Yeah, for sure. So, what do you think, Sujin? A
I
neutral
think
perspective is also needed. Yeah,
I think a 2-win away victory for Pool.
sure.
I mean they are in super form. United can do well. I think they can score. Obviously, these are the matches when you get pumped up. But I think Liverpool, the kind of form Liverpool are in, I think they will be a little too much for
But
Manchester
you
United.
wouldn't you like a United win? Given the
No, I would like a
position of the
draw. I would
table.
like a draw. I would like
Come
a
on,
draw. I think
Manchester United won't catch
if
Chelsea
both
in the
team
Premier
can,
League.
if but Pool can catch Chelsea in the Premier League. So
So
that's
that's why I'm
the
saying that
thing.
win for United should have been a better, better avenue for Chelsea.
No,
but
no,
he
no.
is a realist.
I
He is
mean,
a realist,
if
bro.
Realist, yeah.
if both teams can lose, I think that will be what
Yeah, I
what
suppose
would be
that's
the
that.
best for me. But I would want a draw, and yeah, I think if it's a draw, I think it will be great. Pool hasn't won a game against the top 10 this season. I don't see them losing to United.
But
If
you
they
don't
are
want
going
them
to
to
be
win
dropping
also,
points, if they are going to be dropping points, it's going to be a draw. But other than that, I think it will be a 2-1 away win for Pool.
right?
Yeah. Yeah. So I think that's pretty much it. We've covered everything from tactics to recent form to key players to predicted lineups to the score line. So I think that's pretty much it. There's nothing more left to discuss. The wait begins now for this blockbuster Sunday game, and obviously I think we'll all be watching. I think Sunday a huge day in terms of football. We've got El Clasico as well. We've got Liverpool versus Manchester United, and of course all the other Premier League seasons, Premier League matches, the other football leagues, and obviously India is also playing Pakistan in the
Right.
T20 World Cup. So Sunday is what we can expect a
Super
huge
Sunday.
sporting day. Yeah, it is a super Sunday. So I think, yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Hope you liked our episode. Hope you liked our analysis. Hope you liked what we had to offer, and I hope you can agree with what we said in our preview. And if you have any feedback, obviously you can reach out to us in the links given below. So that's pretty much it, and hopefully we'll be coming up with another episode very soon. But till then, yeah, stay home, stay safe. See you soon. Bye bye.